I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. NFI'd to Dollywood. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. It can be a problem for those associated with the narcissist. Family, for instance, brothers, sisters, parents. Typically, if you are the intimate partner of the narcissist, and also if you are the offspring of the narcissist, because there can come a time where the narcissist's behavior is seen as so problematic that people basically end up deciding that they're not going to invite people associated with the narcissist because it would mean that that would involve the narcissist as well, and they can't tolerate it. Whilst they may feel a little bit guilty for the fact that they're not inviting the children of a narcissist or the spouse of a narcissist, they simply form the view, we can't invite them without the narcissist, that would cause too many problems, and therefore if we were to invite them, we would have to invite the narcissist as well. We don't want the narcissist attending, so the whole group has to suffer, i.e. the spouse and the children don't get invited. In some instances, the long-suffering spouse may well actually understand why people have taken this step. They will have witnessed so many events being ruined by the narcissist's behaviour that whilst it upsets them that they and their children are missing out because of the necessity of cutting the narcissist out of an invite, they understand why people have done it. They understand that people are sick and tired of the way that the narcissist has behaved, the way that they have spoiled occasions, the way that they have upset other people, that they've taken the view, we don't want that person attending, and unfortunately that means those of you who are closely associated with the narcissist are going to have to miss out as well. Of course, this doesn't cause the narcissist to think, hang on a second, my husband, my wife, my children are being affected by the way that I behave. Perhaps I need to make some changes, because of course the narcissist doesn't see that they've done anything wrong. Instead, their narcissism tells them that this is a horrible thing to do, that the failure to invite them to the event is indicative of the vindictiveness and nastiness of the host, and it's an outrage. Well, it may well be the case that this one's wife will be having similar thoughts as a consequence of something that Dolly Parton has done and also failed to do. Once again, it's People magazine that report on this. And Rachel Birchfield again explains that Dolly Parton is inviting Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, the old loose cannon, to her amusement park, Dollywood, in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. After a missed connection with the kid's mother, Kate Middleton, last year, Parton is now inviting the Princess of Wales and her children, George 11, Charlotte 9 and Louis 6, to Dollywood, named after the singer and located in her home state. Oh, I would absolutely love for them to come to Dollywood. That would be fantastic, she told Closer in a new interview. The kids could go on all the rides, and we would treat them like royalty. I'd give Kate my mashed potatoes. I'm assuming that's not a euphemism. I wouldn't put on any airs for them, she added. I would just let them enjoy what we enjoy, and I'm sure that's the way they would want it. I would love to have those kids at Dollywood. In August 2023, Parton said on BBC Radio 2 that she declined an invitation from Princess Kate to come to tea because of her busy schedule while on tour in the United Kingdom promoting her rock album Rock Star. This time, lordy, I even got invited to have tea with Kate. I felt so bad, Parton, 78, said last year. And I felt so bad I couldn't even go. They had all this stuff set up, but I thought that was very sweet and nice of her to invite me to tea. One of these days, I'm going to be able to get to do that. Wouldn't that have been great? Parton joked, but she wasn't going to promote my rock album, so I had to say no. I hope she hears it, though. She later said that she was honoured and flattered that she even asked me. I only had one full day and I didn't have a second to do anything else besides work, Parton explained. She did clarify that she wanted to make sure people know I didn't turn the invitation down and that it was simply a matter of her schedule being too full. One of the cornerstones of Kate's work as a royal is early years development in children in the United Kingdom, while Parton's Imagination Library has gifted 200 million bucks worldwide to kids. So maybe that's what we can talk about when we do have tea, Parton said. I think she's adorable, and I hope someday to be able to sit down and have a good conversation with her. Well, that's all high praise indeed, and all very cosy. Compliments for Catherine coming from Dolly Parton, and birds of a feather with regard to their charitable activities concerning young children. Do you hear a shriek somewhere in Monty Shit Show? Do you hear a wail of anguish as a consequence of this? How come no invitation has been extended to Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie to attend Dollywood? You would think that they also would be invited after all. They are the children of Harry and this one's wife, and obviously they're cousins of the children of Catherine and William, and with William and Harry being brothers, wouldn't it be lovely for all of the cousins to get together and have a right old happy time at the amusement park at Dollywood? But whilst there's plenty of praise for Catherine from Dolly, not a dicky bird in relation to this one's wife, not a peep about admiring her or praising what she does, and certainly no invitation extended to the children. Is that rather nasty of Dolly Parton not to do that? After all, they're all cousins. Shouldn't they all be invited? Well, it's indicative, of course, of the way that an individual such as Dolly Parton views two different people. Catherine is viewed as being a lovely person, and her children are invited to go to Dollywood. Whether they'll ever go, that remains to be seen. But it's quite clear that Dolly Parton doesn't have any time for this one's wife. And of course, this one's wife won't take on board that this is because it's her behaviour that puts people off her. She will simply see the fact that George and Charlotte and Louis, having been invited but her children haven't, is an awful snub. It's probably racism by Dolly Parton in some way, or ginger hairism, or Dollyism, whatever ism she decides that it is. It perhaps might be the case that, quite simply, because Dolly Parton doesn't like this one's wife, unfortunately her children have to suffer, as I explained at the outset of the video. People don't get invited to things because of the narcissist and their behaviour. Some might argue, well, surely they would be at home at Dollywood. After all, the children don't exist in their dolls. But assuming that they do, this demonstrates also how two children, innocent of any misbehaviour, innocent of any wrongdoing, end up suffering. They already suffer in the fact that they don't spend any time with their cousins, that they don't spend any time with their grandfather, Thomas Markle Sr., or their grandfather, King Charles, or their step-grandmother, Camilla. They don't get to spend time with uncle and aunties on either side of the family, or because of this one's wife's need for control and the ostracisation of people. And it now goes further, that whilst one side of the family gets an invitation to go to Dollywood, there's crickets in relation to Archie and Lilibet being invited. This is because of the way that this one's wife behaves and how she's disliked because she's so unpopular. But she won't be able to reconcile this. Should she be aware of this invitation, it will offend her need for control. Why haven't my children been invited, would be the declaration. There'll be no self-examination of her behaviour, no consideration that could it be because I've caused a problem. Instead, it'll all be Dolly Parton's fault. She'll be viewed as a hateful, prejudicial, unpleasant individual because this one's wife sees herself as somebody who is wonderful and lovely and should be invited. Once again, not only does this demonstrate the way that the narcissist's behaviour impacts upon others, but it also shows just how unpopular this one's wife is. Yet again, it's a not fucking invited. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.